Today's episode is brought to you by Evermore Alkaline Water. Evermore water comes from a rare, single source protected deep in the earth, delivering a fresh taste, all natural, and high alkalinity every time. If you want to try Evermore today, go to evermore.com, go to the store locator, and see what stores by you have Evermore in stock. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Journey Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Evermore Alkaline Water.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, huge shout out to them. This is our first internal episode sponsored by them. Obviously, Bob was the first one, so this is cool because this is how we started, you and I.
Yep.
And this is our first official sponsored episode together.
Yeah.
So shout out to Evermore Water.
Yep. And definitely something with the internals that we're always going to do. Yeah. You know, if anyone's new following here that came in from the Bob episode or an Umar episode or really any episode with any guests, we started with internals. We love the internals. I mean, that's the cool thing is like we have a dynamic where we can actually just have a conversation, you and I, and like Diary of a CEO, he started off as like his diary, I guess like his own therapy. That's what this was for a long time for us. Yeah. It was something we always looked forward to doing. So it's something we'll always do. You know, we love doing these internal episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You want to give a quick shout out?
Yes. Huge shout out to Ice Shaker. Look at this shit.
Chris Gronkowski's brand.
This is Chris Gronkowski's brand.
Yeah, Rob's little brother.
Oh shit. Well, huge shout out, man, because this shit, like, I mean, first of all, I look at that. Like, that's the coolest I've ever seen our logo.
Yeah.
That shit looks fucking sweet. And then, bro, they showed mad love. They sent a bunch of bottles. One of them has a speaker on it. We used it at the beach, which has been annoying for us. We've been trying to find a speaker. So we're literally using water bottles at the beach. You know, that's fucking engineering at its finest. Huge shout out to you guys. For anyone watching, I mean, this shit's dope. And you don't want to really drink too much out of plastic. Fuck. I was going to say. Only if you're drinking Evermore, you drink out of plastic. That's the only time you drink out of plastic. But, yeah.
Yeah. How we doing?
I'm good, man. I'm not, like, in an optimal state. I'm nowhere near an optimal state, for sure. I definitely feel a huge difference. And I don't think it's placebo, bro. I feel a huge difference when I eat like shit, when I sleep like shit, when I wake up late, when I don't read, when I don't like. I'm kind of there. I'm not harping too much on it. I lately it's been very easy for me if I fall off of the path, if I fall off of, you know, doing the things that make me feel really good. It's very easy for me to get back on it because I spent basically the past 2 months building such great habits. So for me now, if I fall off, usually it's very easy to get back on. But last night we were at a barbecue, you know, we were having some drinks.
We've had a stretch since going to Boston.
Yeah.
Like went to Boston, Bob, 5 hours there, 5 hours back.
Yeah.
You know, then we're trying to edit everything, get it out quick. Then we had the wedding. Mm-hmm. Then we had the barbecue. So yeah, we've been kind of all over the place.
Yeah. Really, really all over the place, you know, like, and then we're also doing side jobs on the side, and you're
in the Hamptons.
I'm in the Hamptons doing stuff, and just our mind has been, it hasn't been as easy to, just been feeling a little bit more lenient, like it's summer, you know, and just enjoy ourselves a little bit more, and, obviously, you know, we love the internal episodes, but we've been focusing on the guest episodes because now we're really ready for, to grow the YouTube. And unfortunately, the guest is really what's going to do it. So, yeah, we've just been kind of like in like this like weird chaotic period. Like tomorrow's Monday, we don't have an episode, so we're last minute, you know, getting it in today. Yeah. But it's good.
Yeah. That's I was thinking about that today. I was watching Mike, one of Mike's clips, and talking about how he has like a tattoo, who cares, with a skeleton. And it just really resonated with me because like I feel like I personally, like, I mean, you know it, like I'm very like a perfectionist. Like I like things like set in stone. I like to know exactly what's going on, and you know, and then I do it to a fault where I stress myself out and I get anxious and I'm like fucking, and I'm kind of like boiling my own fucking blood because I'm trying to like make things exactly how I want it. I mean, at the end of the day, like most of the shit we worry about, we stress about, none of it matters. You know, it doesn't go with you. It's never gonna like you can't spend too much time harping on it. So like that's what I've been trying to do recently is like just like pull back a little bit and just try stop being like so like high strung and just kind of like let things be how they be. And because you really can't control majority of what we go through anyway. A lot of the shit, especially what we're doing, is completely out of our control. So if we can just continue to just control the controllables, I think we'll just put ourselves and myself personally like in a better position to be able to receive certain things. And then you function at a higher frequency when you aren't stressed out and you are just kind of like still and you're kind of just accepting of like open to everything, attached to nothing. So I'm trying to that's where I'm at because it has been a little hectic, little frantic, but it feels good though. It's cool. And kind of what you and I spoke about. I think we spoke last night. Yes, last night about it, where like I had a thought. You obviously had a thought. You called me, quantum physics, whatever, and you were talking about just like it's just crazy how God works. And I was having a self dialogue like in the shower about just like when you're on purpose and you're on time. It's honestly magical, like the things that just happen. And it's a shame that a lot of people don't have those moments in their life because they're not aligned with their purpose, you know? So all of that said, like, I just think like when you are in a state of like stress and anxiety and frantic and all over the place, like you can really like work yourself up like over nothing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I heard a beautiful quote about control this morning. Lately, I've been so big on nature because nature to me, and nature doesn't really even just mean like flowers and trees and shit. It just means like the natural way of living life. To me, that just means going more internal than external. And when you really think about the world that we're living in now, all this is nothing is really natural. So the past 2 months, like going internally and just really connecting to nature has been something for me that's been helping me a lot because nothing is wrong. When you're connected with nature, nothing is wrong. There's no yesterday, there's no tomorrow, there's no to-do list, there's no schedules, there's no, oh, I have to do this so that this can happen, so that can happen. It's just, you're zen the fuck out. You know, all the problems, like, bro, our personalities and our egos create these huge issues, and our society creates this huge issue where us as an individual, we have to go out and get it. And the problem about going out and getting it is that it creates so much stress when really nature is all about letting things happen. Like, bro, when you don't have to think about, imagine how stressed out you'd be if you had to think about your fingernails growing every day and your hair growing every day. Imagine how stressed out you'd have to be if you had to beat your own heart and you'd have to breathe. Like there's all these autonomic blinking, there's all these autonomic things that happen in nature, but us as people, we like to, like, imagine a baby in the womb, 9 months, you don't do a thing, God does everything. And then around 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, our egos start forming, and then everything was perfect, but we're like, all right, God, you did a great job, I'm going to take over from here. And then we fuck our lives up with our own personalities, right? So that was just a beautiful quote of this morning. It was just like, you don't have to think about growing your fucking nose. Your nose just grows. So why would you overstress about becoming successful in life? Because it just seems, well, I'll say this. If you're not on purpose, you probably won't become very successful in life. I think that there is a wave in life that you can connect to. There's a path in life that you can connect to. And I don't think that it's hard to find. I think that it smacks you in the face. Yeah. I think people that don't believe in God, it doesn't make any sense to me because there's so much signs that I consistently get from the universe. So I think that not believing in God is almost like a smack in the face to God. Or it's like complete ignorance. You know, I feel like a lot of times people that don't believe in God, they use their brain, their intellectuality as this means of, you know, coming up with these scientific explanations for why God doesn't exist. And sometimes it's like, bro, Like look at a snowflake. And look at how perfect that thing is. Or go to the Grand Canyon, or even just, bro, if you take some time and go for a walk and look at a flower, how can you not see God in all things? So what I'm getting at here is that if you are completely connected to your purpose in life, you shouldn't worry about things, because there's this you shouldn't worry about things because you're not doing majority of the things. God is doing things to you, you know? You are the same way your heart, God is just beating your heart, your body is beating your heart. God is taking care of your future for you and putting good people in your life and putting all the good opportunities around you. So you don't need to stress about becoming successful or finding that perfect girl or finding that perfect guy, because if you're on purpose and you believe in God, it's just going to happen for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been like a huge improvement in my life, is because like I wasn't against it, but I just wasn't with it, you know? Like I never really lived life that way or looked at life like that and had that like mentality where, you know, just more faith, right? Like having faith like in the universe. Like I use God and the universe like hand in hand, almost. Like I don't know, like there's just something about like the term universe, it really just sticks with me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, like, you ever hear of the story about the bamboo tree? Okay,
No.
so it's not like crazy story, but basically a bamboo tree is planted and it stays underground for 5 years. Nobody knows it's there. When it's time to blossom and time to grow, it goes up hundreds of feet in the air in 5 weeks.
Wow.
So nobody around you knew, but the bamboo knew the entire time how tall it was going to be.
Right.
So that's exactly where I feel like myself, like I'm okay with like being underground for 5 years because nobody else around me knows what's going to happen. But when it's time to grow, it's going to grow hundreds of feet in the air in 5 weeks, right? So like I just felt like that was a super cool metaphor for like us and like what we're doing in our life, because like it just seems like right now we're underground. Like we're the tree that's like we're in the soil right now. We like there is a few people that might know it's there, but like majority of people don't know, you know? And that's been really cool, because to go back to like what you were talking about, like having faith and believing in like your purpose and aligning with nature and just everything that's going on, it's like it's okay. Like you feel okay underground for those 5 years. You feel it like you like there's no bit of stress of us that we think that it's not going to work, because we know like when it's time we're going to be ready. You know, we know how tall we're going to grow. We know the heights that we're going to reach. So, and I feel like the only way you can be okay with that is if you do have the faith, is if you do believe in like a higher power and that's something that's guiding you. And because I can see, because I've been on the other side of it, and I can understand, I have friends, family, whatever, like that is on the other side of that really don't believe in that. And then when you really don't have anything going for yourself, and then you don't have faith, you don't believe in the universe, you don't believe that there's a higher power guiding you, I mean, bro, that could get really dark. That could get really lonely. That could get really scary, because you don't have belief in yourself, and no one else believes in you. Then you're kind of left with, it's like, why am I here? What is my purpose? And then when you're in that state of mind, I mean, then there's a lot of other avenues you can go that end up leading to self-destruction rather than trying to find your purpose and find your higher fucking power. So that was just like a really cool quote that I saw, because I just feel like it completely aligned with us.
Yeah, bro. I feel the exact same way. Like, I'm at a level now. Now, I'm not gonna sit here, bro, and say that I know a ton of shit about. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I know the most in the world about success and entrepreneurship and trying to do something great and worthwhile and podcasting. But I mean, bro, like being on this like creative, artistic path, like the past 4 years, I've learned a lot, bro. And I'm so essentially solidified in the belief that literally just like that story, majority of really hyper successful people just eat shit for a very, 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 very long time, and then there's that snap, and then all of a sudden they're like, I don't think success comes in like a little bit of success, a little bit of success, a little bit of success, a little. I think success comes is like you eat shit until all of a sudden, boom, you don't. At least like real, like true success and like real true, the monumental figures. It seems like it seems like Drake rapped for a long time before he was discovered by Lil Wayne. All of a sudden, boom. It seems like Ice Spice, was doing her thing, putting music out. All of a sudden, TikTok, boom. It seems like fucking Aiden Ross, who knows how long he streamed before he had his big thing, and all of a sudden, boom. So I think about that sometimes with us, and about how we haven't seen much success. And whenever I almost get in my head about it, I'm just like, oh no, like we're putting in the pain. We're putting in the pain so we can have that boom moment. And that gets me through it, because I'm just like, there's no fucking way that we're not gonna bro, success for me, success is not the hard part. Really the hard part for me is not going insane in the process. The success is easy. That's done. I know successful people. I know their attributes. I have all those attributes, bro. We have all those attributes. We're great with people. We're great at speaking. We are, there's we're hardworking. We're good looking. Like all these things that success would require. We're so good at. So for me, like, I'm not worried about the success at all. We're gonna be just fine. I'm just worried about enjoying it, because what good is getting to the top of the mountain if you look back and you left all your comrades down there, the people you really loved, you didn't get to bring with you? What good is success if you have all the money in the world but your physical health is all fucked up? What good is success? You get the point. I'm just saying, like, success for me isn't like, there's a higher meaning to life for me. All right, Bob Menery. Mm-hmm. Bob Menery. We just interviewed Bob Menery. He had all the success in the fucking world. This guy was on top. And on our podcast, he literally said to us, the thing that he cares about most in the world is his peace of mind. And peace of mind is something you can cultivate right now without any money, without any big platform, without huge friend groups. And I've harped on it so much time, so I don't want to spend too much time there. But that's really the thing that that's the thing you wanna I guess cultivate. I don't know. I think that's that gives you a good quality of life is good peace of mind.
Yeah, you made a great point where you talked about like what is success if you don't enjoy it like during the time, and I've been thinking heavily about that, because like we are very consumed with what we're doing. We sometimes forget to appreciate like certain moments, and just sometimes just sit back and like be more grateful and like care for like your family, like personal, family time, right? Like my past couple days we were with my family. Today we'll be with your family, right? And like I'm super in my head all the time. Like I'm very like I'm nonstop self-dialogue like all day long, and not in a bad way, but like that's just like I'm like friends with my mind, like where I just like talk to myself, and like it kind of helps me get through, and like I receive more clarity when I do that. I feel like when I am like all over the place, not living in the moment, I tend to forget. And I had this conversation with myself the other day, and it was basically just like, you really like, you have to remember that life is very short, and there is going to be a point in time where you do eat your last meal, where you do hug your father for the last time, where you do share a romantic moment with your significant other for the last time. And the scary part about all that shit is you don't know when it's going to be your last time. So when you do everything you do in your life, like you have to do it with passion and love and do it to the fullest. And that's all we can do right now. I feel like you and I both need to do a better job. I mean, me personally, like do a better job of that. Of like really like caring about certain moments, like really just being present for certain moments, and like stop thinking so far ahead and because bro, you really do never fucking know. You really never know. And it's so hard for us to be able to play both sides, because we're just like, what's next, what's next. When we're just like, we're trying to do this, or who we hitting up, what sponsored, this, that, podcast clips, this. And it's like, bro, like we're just like, time just gets away. Like, we're already halfway through July. This year's almost over. 2023 is almost over.
Yeah.
And I feel like we lose a lot of just precious moments in our lives and precious times with loved ones just because we're so worried about what's next. And we need to just do a better job of really just like living in the moment, spending time with loved ones, spending time with your friends, because all the materialistic shit, like Aiden Ross, I was watching today, like he said it, he goes, yo, you could buy 1,000 fucking watches, you could buy 1,000 sports cars, you could do all that shit. He goes, I'll buy a car, I'll drive it for 2 days, I'm bored. He goes, you know what the fucking best moment of my life was? When I bought my dad and my mom a house and said, you never have to fucking work again. He goes, that's the shit that matters. And that's really what matters. Think about all the best times in our life that we've ever spent. Has it ever been alone when you bought something? Has it ever been like when you cashed out or you did some shit? No. The best times in your life are always spent with family and friends and creating moments and creating memories and really being present. Think about how many stories you and I could tell. We could probably break the world record for the longest podcast of telling fucking memorable stories with our guys. Yeah. Telling memorable stories with your family. Why do we have such a vivid memory of like those exact moments in our life? We remember those things to the finest details. But all the little shit, the little bullshit successes that we've had in our personal life or the things we've bought and that, I don't remember that shit because it doesn't mean anything. But we get caught up in social media and society and what matters, right? So it's always like we're trying to keep up, we're trying to catch up, and it's like, yo, like we're doing what we do, but I think for like what we are doing, we'll be better humans and we'll be better at what we do, like when we can really like perfect that of just being more present and being like just super in the moment.
Yeah, it's beautiful, bro. I agree. I just think it's fucking so hard now. With you know, your cousin, your aunt, your aunt's daughter, because that's your cousin yesterday, came with her son to the wedding from South Carolina, and single mom, and I was talking to her and, you know, asking her about, you know, how it is, and she's telling me, you know, it's really hard and you know, how expensive, you know, they're raising prices and South Carolina. You know, she definitely can't afford to stay here. That's why she's in South Carolina. And, you know, I was asking her about like getting a job or whatever. And she was like, yeah, you know, I think I might get like a part-time thing at Subway, you know. And here she is, you know, single mom, you know, like going to get a part-time job at Subway. And, bro, what the point that I'm getting at is like, it is unfortunate like that there is a society, that there is like an actual system of government and there is an actual way of life that doesn't provide abundance. It just provides mediocrity, you know. It just provides suffering. You know, they say 60%, you know, 60% of marriages end in divorce, 60-70%. Majority of divorce is usually financial. You know, there's some type of financial thing. And there's a very, you know, Bob Menery came on the podcast and he said, not everybody lives that Jake Paul lifestyle. You know, there might be a 0.0001% of the world that lives that Jake Paul lifestyle. And majority of everyone else is starving. Majority of everyone else is living extremely paycheck to paycheck. We're in a very dicey time where there's all this pressure coming in from social media because now you're able to see, bro, I didn't know what a supercar was, you know, like 3 years ago. Like I didn't to me, like there wasn't streamers out there making $150 million, like a streamer, like all these things that could motivate you could also paralyze you because things are so crazy. Like you see guys like Jake Paul and you see guys like Steve will do it and they're giving away $20,000 to random people and they do it over and over again. Or guys like Mr. Beast are spending $4 million on a video. And I think that I think we're living in a I think we're living in a very weird time because I don't really know exactly where I was going with that. I think I was going somewhere along the lines of just like there's two types of stress. There's regular stress and then there's financial stress. And if you have both, things really suck. But if you have what I'm trying to say is it's hard to make money. That's what I'm trying to say. It's fucking really hard to make money.
And then when you are in that state of mind, it is hard to actually be present for moments in your life because you're just so overwhelmed and you're so caught up in these fucking like not like we spoke about it yesterday. Like people are so caught up in the things that are so far away from nature, that are so far left.
Yeah.
They're so far left. And it's like you have to find like this happy medium, and like it just seems like the only way to do that is go far right. And I'm not talking like political, I'm just using left and right as like a, you know,
whatever,
figure of speech. Figure of speech. Because like left is like, bro, technology, money, social media, this, that, like everyone's trying to keep up, everyone's trying to stay alive. And it's like now it's like, you know, how do you stay present when you do have to worry about that? How do you not stress? You know, how do you fight the anxiety and then also keep your loved ones around you happy? Because like now, especially as a man, like what is your job with a family? Your job is to provide and provide financially, emotionally, physically, everything, spiritually. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be the head of the household. So, I mean, I could only imagine what it's like for a man struggling with a family. Because, like, we've got comments all the time like, yo, I have 2 kids. Yo, I have a family. Like, how the fuck do you expect me to follow what I love and do what I love when it's like I have to work every day? And it's like, yo, like, I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I never comment back like, yo, bro, fuck that. You know, like, I get it. I understand. So, like, I could just see, like, why you can see why the world is, like, trending where it is and, like, why shit is getting so fucked up. Shit is so fucked up right now.
It seems like there's a path in life that leads to success and leads to happiness. And a big portion of that is about creating something of your life, right? Like making an impact on society and like making a lot of money. It seems like, you know, like a lot of people's stories, like success stories have to do with making money. And it seems like people don't know how to do it. So everyone is playing, everyone is feeding into game. Everyone is feeding. It's just, bro, like the time we're in is just so hard because now, like, now making money, I feel like 30 years ago, there was an easier path because things weren't as competitive and cost of living wasn't as high. So like you could have went and been a doctor or a lawyer and like cashed out. But now doctors and lawyers, like, bro, on Long Island, like you got to be making to really live like a good life. You got to be making, I think, like at least $300K a year to fucking have a good life on Long Island. And like still, like you're still fucking barely, you know, really getting by. Now we're living in a world where the richest people are the creators. Or like the fucking athletes and shit like that. But like the real
actors, musicians, but like
the artistic,
in a sense they're all creators.
Yeah, like bro, the artistic people are the ones to get paid, and bro, that's there's no school for that. You know, you can't teach that because a lot of that stuff is innate. You know, a lot of that creativity and being artistic is innate. So the average person is at a real standstill in society because the average job can't even afford you an okay house anymore. You know, the average job gets you a piece of shit crib. And now if you have a piece of shit crib and an average salary, you're kind of looking at like an average woman, you know, like, and they're like a really I don't know, higher end woman is not going to want to go after you because they're all competing for the top dudes out there. And even if you do find yourself a good woman, but you're not making a lot of money, like I said before, like majority of divorce is usually financial. You know, you could have a woman, like there's probably some women hearing this and saying, oh, you don't know how much I love my family and I love my husband. But bro, people can't handle pressure that well. And I think it's also true. I'm not saying it's overwhelmingly true for women, but I think that men usually are a little bit more calm and composed. So I think sometimes in a marriage, if a woman, especially she's trying to protect her children, if the man can't provide, right, like she's gonna go out and try to find a new mate. I think that's. I think that can happen. So, I just think the latter half of this podcast is, normally I don't really even like to speak about these things because I love to speak about just how powerful we are and just how amazing we are. But, yeah, I mean, bro, like I only really feel powerful when I'm with you or a very small percentage of my friends that are also following their dreams, or I'm alone. But when I go out into the real world, I don't feel very powerful. I feel like everyone's asleep. I feel like everyone has completely not given up. I don't think people have given up, but I feel that there's a
sense of complacency.
Yeah, but it's not like oh, you're being complacent, you're a piece of shit, It's more so like there's a sense of nobody actually knows what to do. So I do feel very blessed actually and very grateful to be this person, because I was telling your uncle yesterday about our drive and just how driven we are, and drive, like there had to be a very specific set of circumstances in my life to be this individual. And I look to my left and my right, and as much as I judge people at times, they weren't given the life experiences that I had. So yeah, I think we're just in a very I think we're just in a very weird time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, bro, like, obviously, like, I think that's why this works, and that's why we do have a lot of similarities, is because, I mean, obviously, I myself, like, bro, I had to eat shit for years. Mm-hmm. Still eating shit to this day. Mm-hmm. I had to go through some terrible shit when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I had to do all these things, right? And, like, in those moments, I would always question and ask, why? God, the universe, why the fuck are you doing this to me? Over and over again. It seems like I can never catch a break. Mm-hmm. But then once you can finally step back and be like, oh, like, it's for this. Like, I needed all of that shit to happen to add some fucking flames to me. You know what I'm saying? I had to add some fuel to the fire. So that's like what you said. Like when you go out in public and you do see like people around, and it's like, I've always felt different. I've never felt like anyone else. Like I've never felt like the majority. Like I would always stand out. Like of just like in my own mind, where it's just like I could never like really relate to like the average person. I'm not saying I'm better or worse than the average person, but like if you just go out to the bar, go to the mall, I always just felt a little bit different. Yeah. And I think that's what separates the people that like really do make it. You have this like little thing inside of you that it's like, yo, I'm just a little different than them. Like I'm not built like everyone else. Mm-hmm. And that's where like those creators and like, but there's so many pieces to the puzzle that I feel like have to align, like when you are on that path, when you do feel a little bit different, right? But you do have to have the willpower and the drive and the mental fortitude to like be able to like innovate and create something that hasn't been done before, right? And then once you have that, now it's like, okay, you're not going to be successful when you first start. So now you have to be willing and be patient to eat shit for a couple of years. Then you kind of have to tie all that shit in together. And as you're doing that, you have to network, you have to keep improving. Then you have to work on your mental and your health. Mm-hmm. So bro, there's so many pieces of this puzzle that have to go and align together to be successful. Mm-hmm. The average person, the normal person in society, bro, that is way too fucking much for majority, 99% of people to handle. That's why there is a 1%. Because not many people can be able to handle and juggle and be able to figure all that shit out while they're trying to, nurture relationships and get girls and get women and make money and do all, bro, it's a lot. Yeah. So you can see why people would just be like, hey, like, I'm okay with the 9 to 5 and drink on the weekends with my buddies.
But that's what's unfortunate though, bro, about where people are at now, just because the cost of living is getting so high and salaries are like staying exactly the same, is like the average life used to be okay. You know, the picket fence with the wife, maybe she's a nurse and you're a teacher, and you know, you guys make a combined 150 grand and you get to, you know, a couple of vacations a year. That used to be okay, but now it's like if you make an average amount of money, you can't afford your lifestyle is very hard, and God forbid you lose some type of job, you know. So it's a very it's that's why, like, we're living in a weird time of if you do want to, like, just the wealth distribution is so insane, because if you do want to make money, you can make fucking billions right now. Especially because I said it at the party a lot yesterday. You know, realistically, this podcast, like, we have put in a lot of fucking work with this podcast, but I feel like even if you remove our innate abilities, right? And because I do think that our creativity has gotten, and who we are as people and our dynamic has definitely helped us, you know, get a lot more views and made us more successful. But realistically, bro, if like you just look at how we're podcasting, we're just taking it serious. We invested in the equipment. Bro, majority of people have already lost at that step, right? They'll start a podcast with bullshit equipment. And it's like, the case that I'm making is it's so fucking easy. Dana White said this shit. It is so fucking easy to get ahead and become successful in life, because a majority of people that you're competing against are fucking losers. And I don't say that to be a dick, like, oh, you're a loser, you should feel bad about yourself. It's, you're just a loser. There's winners in life, and then there's losers. I always used to hate fucking, bro, when I was a kid, I was kind of a loser. When there was a race, I would finish low in the race. If someone was playing kickball, I would get picked last in kickball. If there was a spelling bee, I would lose. And you know what, bro? Losing feels like shit. And there's no emotion, like, you don't have to get triggered by that. Like, it's very simple. What makes a winner? Someone that wins at something. What makes a loser? Someone that loses at something. And I had the thought the other day. I'm like, yo, maybe I'm not fucking depressed. Maybe I'm not anxious. Maybe I'm just not winning right now in life. Maybe that's where we're at. And but it's just really hard, bro. It's really hard, man, because there really is only so much winners in life. And I guess maybe that's what's unfortunate about. I think that's what's unfortunate about really just the school system and society in general is. And really what is so insane about trying to give participation trophies, bro, that's not the real world. That's not the real world. Imagine if 2,000 years ago, people were giving out participation trophies during hunting. It's like, oh, you know, you didn't catch a caribou today. We'll give you a participation trophy. Well, if you don't catch a caribou in the next 2 weeks, your whole family is going to die. That's how serious winning is. You know, we have to raise winners. We have to become winners. We have to not be mediocre. But I do feel bad for the people that are, because I honestly, if you are average, you are mediocre in society today. Because I consider mediocre as living a life that is so just shitty, and that's an average life. That's what's sad, bro. That's the point of this whole thing, is that an average life, bro, is a shitty life, and we've just seen it. You know, we know how fucking hard, bro. Our parents make good money, you know, but good enough money, but it still is like just a little bit more than average. And your dad still has to wake up every single day, fucking 3 a.m. My dad fucking just retired, and my parents fight all the time. It's not really a good life.
Yeah, bro. It's I think it, like, you had two good points that, like, I kind of want to elaborate on.
Go for
Yeah, like, one, you're talking about the school system.
Yeah.
And I really do think the school system is breeding kids for failure. It's really setting kids up for failure. Because, one, they're teaching you a bunch of things that you're never going to have to use in life. So now you're wasting majority of your day learning bullshit, right? And now you're being tested and graded on that bullshit. And as you say, and I know it's a fact, kids are very impressionable, right? The kids are impressionable. They're very easy to manipulate. They're very easy to change their mind, right? So now you're grading a kid on a history test, right? That he could look up on Google in 5 seconds, but because his memory is a little, worse than some of the other kids, or
his brain is still developing,
or maybe he has a lot of shit going on at home, right? Maybe he has some real family issues at home, so he doesn't have time to study. Maybe he has to take care of his little brothers, right? Maybe he has to do some shit that the one kid that has parents that make more money, maybe that kid has some more time to study. Maybe that kid has a tutor, right? So he gets the 98 on the test. This kid gets a 50. He fails. Teacher puts a big red F on his paper, right? The kids around the classroom are looking over. They see him. Now he's looking. All the cool nerdy kids that study, right, got hundreds and A's. The teacher likes them a little bit more because they take their work more serious, right? And then this kid that has a lot of shit going on at home fails, right? Now in his mind, he thinks he's a loser. He thinks he's a failure. Now this shit happens throughout the entire school system, K through 12. So now when you do that over a long enough period of time, like I said earlier, some people don't have that little bit of different in them. They don't have that mental fortitude to be able to push through and understand, this doesn't really mean anything. So now what do you think that kid thinks of him in his life and once he gets out of high school? He truly believes, I'm a failure, I'm a loser, I'm not worth anything because I got a bad test on the fucking Boston Tea Party. Yeah. They're doing this all around the country. In 50 states in America, bro, there's this curriculum. There's all these things that like you said, and then they give out participation trophies now. So the participation trophies, like that's kind of one, like you brought up like the hunting. Like as soon as you said that, I thought about like gladiator times.
Yeah.
What happens in gladiator if you don't win?
You die.
You die.
Yeah, pretty gruesomely too.
Bad.
Yeah.
You get your fucking head chopped off, or you get fucked in a sword through your stomach in front of thousands of people that are cheering because they're betting whatever they're betting. You know what I'm saying? There's people the side of the king and then the side of the whoever's, like the movie. But that's what this world was built on. And I'm not saying that we should remain in gladiator times because that is a little extreme, but I am saying that there should be some type of fine line between winning and losing, and kids that are coming up in these school systems should be taught where it's like, hey, like you need to be a winner if you want to be successful in life, if you want to be happy, if you want to raise your children the right way, if you want to have a beautiful relationship with your significant other or your family. Like a lot of that shit comes down to winning and losing. So there has to be a bridge with the way the world is working, technology, something that like we could have done a better job over time from the 70s, 80s, 90s into the 2000s that did not like it's been going like this. I feel like 70s, 80s, 90s there was like a lot more hard nose, right? A lot more like blue collar of like, like you want something, you got to work for it, and if you don't work for it, you won't get it.
100%, yeah.
And I think now, I mean, in 2023, it's really only getting worse.
Yeah.
It's getting really bad. I can only imagine like say 10 years from now, like when hopefully we have kids.
Yeah.
Like what do we do in that situation? Cuz I really don't want my kid in that school system.
Yeah.
And I also want him to be socially, I want him to be like social. I want him to learn those networking skills, learn how to like, build relationships and have fun and do that and live like a regular kid. But I don't want him being taught by what the curriculum of society and what the school is trying to implement, especially now. I won't even get into it, but you know exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I want to go back to a point you had about these kids, bro, because I was that kid that had bad grades. And for whatever reason, it didn't fuck with me because I saw from an early age, like Drake has a line like he's like, I realized I dropped out or something as soon as I realized turning papers in won't get me paid or something like that. I forgot what song that's from, but like I just kind of knew from a young age, like I just didn't rock with like the whole like getting good grades thing. But dude, the saddest part about kids that get good grades, I went to a Catholic high school where the passing was 75 to pass, and I had a 75. And if I look back on my graduating class, like I'm like 10 years removed out of high school, and I look at the most successful people I knew at St. Anthony's, at this prestigious Catholic high school, they were all the drug dealers. You know, half of them fucking had to, they had to leave St. Anthony's, and guess what? The drug dealers, they understood business. They understood supply and demand and having a product and getting customers and marketing. And like, it sounds ridiculous, but like really, like that's kind of what business is, and it just seems to me like the people in life that make the most money own businesses. They own a piece of equity in something. They're getting paid overnight. They don't have to trade their time in for dollars, versus majority of the kids that I knew that on fucking college day, when I was wearing a community college fucking sweatshirt and everyone was wearing Miami and Harvard, even Harvard, Princeton, Yale, those people, bro, you set yourself up for like, I don't know, some like fucking job coming out of there, some teaching job, like even on the higher end of that, like you're getting paid 120 grand a year. We literally talked about it before. To live on Long Island, like I think the number to live on Long Island to make a year is like 500 grand.
You're not family,
with a family.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not doing that, bro. You're not even doing that on a lawyer and a doctor's salary. The lawyers and the doctors that make the most money are the people that start their own practice. Guess what? Now you gotta learn fucking business. The drug dealer is way ahead of you because he was learning business at fucking 15, 16 years old. So it's a really weird thing. Like these kids, it's just a very weird thing that like I never understood that about getting good grades, because especially looking back now on the kids that got good grades, the kids that got good grades are fucking mediocre as shit. They're mediocre as shit. They can't shine Jake Paul's fucking shoes. They can't shine Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross's shoes. They can't. Bro, why do you think there's so much people that drop out of college, get rich, and then they put dropout on their fucking Lamborghini license plate? It's because people are pissed off. Like, I'm fucking pissed off that society is literally like, you gotta get good grades and you gotta do this. And it's like, what, for 150 grand salary? So my wife, when I'm away, can go and have sex with the fucking pool boy, or not the pool boy. So when we're on vacation, my wife can meet the CEO of a company and all of a sudden like feel more attracted to him because he's more of a provider than me. Like, I don't know, like, bro, like that was always a weird thing. And like, bro, it's still kind of done it's still kind of done like the same way. And it's it's unfortunate, bro. We're just in a, it's crazy. It's crazy how, the whole school system, and I don't want to harp too much, and it's just crazy, bro.
Yeah, like you were saying, I mean, like a lot of the times, like the kids with the good grades, like, are they that smart? Maybe, probably more often than not, what they are, they're just obedient.
Yeah.
Like they understand how to take something and then just apply it immediately to exactly how this teacher wants it, right? Like another kid can articulate his point a way more educated and smarter way, but because it's not the way that specific teacher wanted it, they will judge and grade that student a different way than the one that it's probably less educated, less articulate, but it's the way that teacher sees it. Mm-hmm. Like you're like,
right.
So like all of it, it's like, yo, like you and I both played sports. Some coaches fuck with you, some don't. Yeah. You could be the man for one coach and he loves everything you do. You could go play the exact same way, go to another coach, he fucking hates you. You can't fucking get off the bench. That's what it is in life. There's so many times in life that like, yo, like one thing works for somebody and you can do it the same exact way. Another person fucking hates it. Yeah. And bro, it starts in the school system, gets into athletics, goes to business. The way you are, bro, some people love it, some people hate it. Yeah. So it's like kind of like you got to pick your poison with like certain things. But like that's like what the school system's breeding, and it's just bad, bro. It really is bad. And I'm just like super against it. And like now that like we're years removed, and like I just graduated college this year, and like it was the biggest like horseshit thing. Like I didn't even walk. Like I wasn't even proud of it. It wasn't even I haven't even spoke about graduation since I graduated. And all the time, like, people ask me, like, oh, yo, you graduated? What'd you study? What are you going to pursue? I'm like, nothing. I was like, I have a podcast.
The internet.
Yeah, I was like, I have a podcast. Like, I'm pursuing that. You're not going to do nothing with your degree?
Right.
What am I going to go do? Go get an internship at fucking CBS and work for free and fucking do some
coffee.
bullshit news anchor and get donuts in the morning?
Yeah.
And then maybe 10 years down the road, work my way up to what? Like a fucking journalist? And get treated like shit in front of celebrities. Yeah. Like, bro, we're going to be interviewing celebrities and having a drink with them while they sit on our couch.
Yeah, we've already done it.
But if I go the school system route, I'm going to be holding a fucking notepad and like this, like, LeBron James, what do you think about, and he fucking stiff arms my camera out my face and my fucking notepad.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you go the traditional route, or you do what we're doing and then we get to fucking have LeBron on the pod and then go out with him later.
Yeah.
Like,
what's better? Yeah, what's better?
But the thing is, like, when you do take that traditional route, like, everyone around you, family, friends, Instagram, social media, yo, he's crushing it. Yo, he's part of CBS. Yo, he's doing this.
Isn't that crazy?
You know? Yeah. But we start a podcast in your mom's fucking shed.
Yeah.
Oh, these fucking another dude starting a podcast.
Yeah, right.
It's like, bro, we're that bamboo.
Yeah.
We're that fucking bamboo tree.
Yeah.
We're just in the soil right now, bro, for 5 years. And then boom, that shit's gonna shoot up 100 feet in the sky in the matter of 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And then everyone can fucking see it. You could be fucking miles away, you'll see the fucking bamboo tree.
That's a great
know?
Point. Yeah, dude, that's why, like, bro, what we're doing, like, maybe like the good, like, to bring it back on a positive. The best takeaway maybe from the latter half of this podcast for this episode is yo, get in the content game, man. Get in the fucking content game. Like, this shit is completely untapped. And I would just say, bro, do it. Like don't half-ass it. Like, get the proper equipment. Like, bro, I
mean, you could always start with your iPhone too. I know that's not like the most thing. Like, nobody's saying go buy a $5,000 camera.
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, go invest in a new iPhone at least, and get a microphone. Get like a real microphone. Mm-hmm. I mean, that, like, if that's bare minimum of what you can do. Mm-hmm. But like, there should be no excuse. Is kind of what I'm getting. There's no excuse. Like, the hardest part is starting, and like, you're gonna suck at first. You have to remember that. Like, people think like they're gonna start content, start a podcast, start YouTubing, and like you have a vision of what you think it's gonna be, and it's never that. Yeah. It's never the vision. Like, I mean, bro, when I first started this, like, I watched podcasts, I watched mics. I'm like, yo, I want it to look exactly like that. And then when I went back and watched the first episode, like the editing of it, I was like, this isn't what I thought it was going to look like,
right,
you know? This isn't what
it
sounds what it was going to look like.
Yeah, then look at it now, though. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Yeah, we put our pain in. That's why, bro, I hate coming across people that have this chip on their shoulder and they're nasty. They feel entitled to become successful that didn't put their pain in. I'm like
what
bro,
do you think that comes from? Like, how do you think people get like that?
I don't know, bro. Maybe their fucking mom and people are just around them always told them how great they were and how they should, like, you know, they're God's greatest gift to the earth. So they just feel, it's entitlement. It probably comes from the home. Like, bro, there's nothing more I hate in the world. Like, bro, I just started doing some work out in the Hamptons. Like, I just started, like, doing some real estate work, right? Like, I understand, like, in the real estate game, like, it's going to take me fucking years to have a nice paycheck in this game because I got to put my fucking pain in. Bro, like, the worst fucking type of person is the real estate agent that in 1 month is like, how come I haven't closed any deals yet? How come I haven't fucking closed? It's like, bro, like, majority of fucking real estate agents, like, they don't close deals for 2, 3, 4 fucking 4 years. Like, they're just putting their pain in, like that bamboo tree, like you were fucking talking about, you know. You really do gotta put, like, but like the nice thing is, like, bro, like, once you like, bro, no, the putting your pain in, bro. You get to a point where no one in the world can take your experience away from you. Like, bro, I am so goddamn knowledgeable in this podcasting, in this filmmaking, in this marketing space that if 70 years down the line I decided to not pick up a camera and pick up a camera, I would know exactly how to use it just because I'm that knowledgeable in the game. Like, bro, like when I first started out, all this shit that we're doing. I used to feel the need to like write things down so I don't forget them. Now I just live the shit. I just live the shit. So like now, like I'm looking at it like 3.5 years of pain bought me actual value. I don't have to. I'm not a fraud. Like if I not only when I go to a table, not only am I bringing something to the table, I feel like I own a piece of the table. Like I am the consultant of this content and this marketing shit at the table. Like bro, like even out east in the Hamptons, like the guy's worth like fucking $50 million, and I'm ordering him around like a fucking bitch, essentially, like I'm like, bro, because you don't know what you're doing. Like you might be worth all this money, but like I know way more about content and digital marketing than you, because I spent 3.5 years in doing this shit. I put the pain in, and that feels good, and I think that I think that that's something to strive for too, is like just feeling valuable. It's maybe it is about taking the focus off of making money, but putting the focus on just feeling knowledgeable, feeling valuable. Because when you're valuable in something, people will seek you out. That's what happens to you, man. Like that's an actual type of luck. Like you build your value. You really do become the best in the world at interviewing someone over 10 years. All of a sudden, bro, Robert O'Neill kills Osama bin, there's a Navy SEAL that kills a high profile target. Someone calls you and says, "Hey, I need you to interview Robert O'Neill because you're so good at this," or it could be anything. It could be if you're if you're the best in the world at hunting sharks, you really put your pain in, you become the best in the world. What happens when the government, there's a endangered species of shark, and there's a government funded project that's going to pay $5 million, but they need an expert in the field. Someone will come and seek you out. Yeah. I think that's what we've done with our podcast, bro, is we've just gotten like, bro, we are so good at this. Like, bro, at the beginning of this episode, I did not feel like fucking shooting a podcast today at all. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, I told you, like from the moment, even like getting out my points right now, it doesn't feel as crisp. I'm doing my best to get them out, but it just feels like there's like a block. Like, but even so, I can feel my absolute fucking worst in the life. I could feel absolutely terrible, and then I guarantee you from this episode, something will get over 1 million views between the both of us somewhere during this episode. Yep. And that feels fucking damn good, It feels damn good to know if I have a fucking, if we have a crazy night and we're all fucked up and we're all hungover, if we have to show up the next day to set and spit some fucking flames, we can do that shit. If we don't have great sleep and we have a big meeting with this high profile person, we'll go there and we're gonna knock it out, because we just spent so long becoming good at podcasting, becoming good at speaking, becoming good at becoming friends with people. And that feels damn good. Honestly, bro, it feels better. It feels better. Like, I almost think it's a flex to have a lot of value and not have a lot of money, because people look at you like, what the fuck? Like, who is this fucking guy? Like, they're like, bro, I feel a lot of time, like when I walk in a room, people are stunned, because I'm walking in a room in a fucking outfit I'm wearing an outfit from like fucking TJ Maxx or Marshalls, but I feel cooler than a lot of the guys wearing fucking designer suits. And it's only a matter of time before you carry that energy, bro, and all of a sudden people catch on. I've been having this saying for me, and you've been saying it, is like, bro, I don't feel unsuccessful. I feel undiscovered. I feel fucking undiscovered, and I think that's what we are. And bro, first of all, like, take our circumstances and like where we grew up. We're the only people on Long Island doing this.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You know?
There's no one else.
Yeah.
There's no one else doing podcasting to the level that we're doing it. Been around the circles that we've been around.
Yeah.
No, there's no one.
Yeah.
There's been some big names out of Long Island, don't get me wrong, but like doing like what we're doing, and I truly do think this is harder than like anything else. People could think like, yo, you just sit in front of a microphone and talk. It's like, bro, like, try it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get it,
I want to go back really quick because this is a great point, bro. One thing that I really fucking despise, and like I'm gonna make another case for putting your pain in, is when you put your fucking pain in, you get really knowledgeable about something, so you're not faking anything. I see people all the time copying other people, imitating other people. It doesn't get you anywhere because you don't actually like how would I say it? You might be able to copy someone's video, but what happens, God forbid, you have to show up somewhere and there's pressure. You're gonna completely crumble. You don't know what you're talking about, you know? So like I would feel absolutely like looking back on our podcast, would it have been nice for us to blow up when we first started? I mean, yeah, like who doesn't want money sooner? It would have probably saved us a lot of stress. But in that period of all the goddamn stress and the lessons learned, it's like, bro, we're actually at the point tomorrow where if we had to fucking interview Beyonce, I feel comfortable, bro. Yeah. I feel fucking completely comfortable. I feel completely comfortable now speaking to anyone. And it literally just came from putting in the pain and eating shit. And that's one thing that really grinds my fucking gears about people that feel entitled, that don't want to work hard, that just want to become successful, is it's impossible to become successful because you're a fraud. You know?
No, bro, that's literally where like the world is at right now. Nobody wants to put the work in. Like nobody is really willing to do whatever it takes. Yeah. And the small percentage of people that can eat shit for 5, 10, 12 years and fucking do the same thing over and over again and get nothing out of it, those are the people that make it. Yeah. You said it earlier in the pod. Like there's a very like small percentage of people that do that, and they didn't have these success like small wins over time. No, they just like completely ate shit for years, and they were completely off the map, off the radar. Nobody knew who the fuck they were. They probably thought about quitting thousands of times, but there was something inside of them that kept them going, and then boom, they took off. And that's the story. Like that's the story of a lot of these people. And the thing is with those people, like you said, in those dark times and in those times of eating shit, you find out who you really are. Yeah. You really learn about what you're trying to pursue. You become a master at it. You become a perfectionist, and you are the fucking best at it. And then there is people that try to take shortcuts and they try to fake it until they make it, and they try to do the bare minimum, and then they try to do what somebody else is doing. And then when the lights are on and then they have to perform, they can't because they didn't actually fucking do it. It's just rinse and repeat. There's so many people now because now people do have an iPhone. People can just go buy a microphone. And that's what takes away from people like us that actually did put in the time and put in the years and ate shit and are actually passionate about and care about what we do. Because now people kind of subcategorize and try to throw us in that category. It's like, yo, we're not like those people. Come hang out with us for a week. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, come sit in and actually have a conversation with us. Talk to us off camera. We're not the majority, right? Yeah. And I think that's what separates us. And like that's why we're just so confident and so we have such belief that this thing is going to like astronomical places because of the amount of time and shit that we've had to go through. Like we say it all the time. Like, bro, like just look at the shit we have to do sometimes. And we're like, I mean, personally, like I think we're better at podcasting and interviewing than majority of people in the game. And isn't
that a crazy thing to say?
And it's serious though. Yeah. Like I mean, bro, like I've seen Bob Menery go on numerous podcasts. I've never seen people pull that side out of him.
He said it was his most favorite podcast of all time.
Bob Menery, who has interviewed Donald Trump, Mike Tyson, Little Dirk, Robert O'Neill, Rick Ross, who else? Antonio Brown, Dave East, Bobby Shmurda. The guy's interviewed everyone. He said 2 times, on video and then on an Instagram post. This is my most favorite podcast I've ever done. From 2 dudes from Huntington that started this thing from the ground up.
Yeah.
So
how could we not become successful? Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up.
Good
man.